Hello and welcome back to this channel. I am Jane-Priscillia and we are doing our spring reset. On the previous video we talked about consciousness and unconsciousness, and I also introduced you to the 6 level of logic. So just a quick recap, as you might see, it's a pyramidal visual, and by understanding those 6 levels of logics, we can understand where we have to make a change. So this pyramid can be applied on any situation in life. And as I mentioned, I want to go into more details about each level. And for today's video, we're going to focus on the level 0, so the vision, mission and goal. The level 1 with your identity, and then the level 2 with your belief and value. For each one, I will give you few tips. So in total, I counted 9. So I will advise you to take notes or to come back to the video for each part. I will also put in the description a Notion link where I already typed all the type of question, all the type of exercise. So also feel free to have a look on my Notion, and let's dive into it. Yeah, in the same time I changed my hair. I put those ones. I like it. The level 0, the level that is above all of them, is your mission. So it's really above your own identity, not just about you, but what is your mission, what do you bring? One of the parts of this aspect is to find your vision. By finding your vision, you will be able to also understand what is your mission. Here, my goal is that I want to create a vision because this vision will help me align all of those criteria of the 6 level left behind. So it's really important to know where you want to go, because otherwise, if you don't create your vision for yourself, you will just follow the vision of someone else. So you will still again not be aligned to who you are and then be authentic to yourself. So let me give you 3 tips on how to create for yourself a vision that will help you find your own mission. Everything that I'm saying here will be linked below. I create a Notion with everything that I'm doing. You can just have a look, do it for yourself also, but you can also take some notes about this video, and I hope you're gonna enjoy the tips. My tip number 1 to create a vision is to write down everything. We are going to do it in 3 steps. The first step is to type what you don't want for your life. What you really don't want. Type everything. So take the time to think about all the things that you do not want in your vision. It's our first step because this gives you a good head start to kind of know what you want. So our second step is, what do you want? What do you want to achieve? What do you want for yourself? Once you did both, you did the part where I don't want this, and you did the part as I want this. Our step 3 is then, how do I get from point A to point B? And how do I achieve this change from where I don't want to what I want? Our tip number 2 is the visualization. To be able to create your vision, you need to imagine it. And this will go in different steps. The first step is to first relax. To be able to really visualize, to be able to really create this manifestation in your mind, you need to first relax. Take the time, breathe. So breathe with me. Breathe in and breathe out. It's better, of course, if you're also in an environment that is calm, where you can really relax, meditate. But you need to be in this state of relaxation, at peace, because from this state, you will be able to create this visualization. And now, the second step is to start the visualization. What I want for you right now is to imagine your confident self. I want you to imagine your name. So in my case, Jane-Priscillia, being really confident. So I will ask you first, how does this person look like? This most confident self. And go into really more details. How does she stand? What is her posture? What is her style? How does she present herself? When I say her, it can be her or him. Just don't pay attention to that, please. What is her relationship with others? How does she handle conflict? Think about also her values. What does she stand for? go in detail. Of course, all of the questions will be in the Notion. Feel free to have a look. But this is a nice exercise to really put your visualization into another level, into a more realistic level. And our tip number 3 is the vision board. Because the vision board will help you to create a physical vision. You will put it literally into the reality. Alors, to be honest, in my case, I don't like vision board. I don't like them because I'm just too lazy to make them. Voilà, that's it. I did one once when I was 18, and like a lot of things happened from my vision board, but at this stage I didn't know that this was a vision board. I just did it because I watched a movie named The Secret, and I was so inspired that I created this. I always thought that I should create a new vision board, and every time I was too lazy. Then I start thinking, okay, I can create one via Canva, you know, I can create a digital one. Every time I tried, at one point I just get bored. It just doesn't work for me, and then you have to change so many things. It just doesn't work for me. So the thing that works for me though is to use Pinterest. I can always put my link if you're interested, because on Pinterest I have this feeling of it's more realistic. It can help me really put in reality what I have in my mind, you know, and in an easy way. So for my case, the vision board is more into Pinterest. But if you have another way to do it, just feel free to share it. By the way, before I go into more details, please, if you like the video, put a like. I'm just learning at the same time as you, and so it can really be nice if you have any tips, any advice that you want to share it in the comments, and I will be really pleased to share them in another video another time. Okay, now we have our level number 1, the identity. Who are you? In my case, I feel like I associate myself too much to my work environment as a part of my identity, whereas this is not the case. So it's really nice that I did this exercise of working on who I am, what is my identity, how can I describe myself, what type of person I am, you know, these type of questions. So here, what I will ask you before we go into the 3 tips that I have for you is, I want you to be honest. I want you to be honest with yourself. Nobody will judge you here, and you should not judge yourself. Be honest, be kind, and let's use this time to really reflect on who you are. So let me give you 3 tips on how to define who you are. The most obvious one is to learn about your strengths and your weaknesses. By doing this first tip, so knowing your strengths and your weaknesses, you will already define a bit who you are. You can also try to align more with your vision. Does this match with your vision that we saw before? Or what can you do to be able to improve and go to your vision? The one that is confident, that has peace, that feels good with yourself, etc. So again, you will find everything in the Notion. Tip number 2, to define also your identity. One nice thing is to pay attention to your emotions. Emotions are here for a reason. Emotions are a signal from your body, from yourself, to express something. I will make a full video about emotions because I think that is really a broader topic. But here, when I'm talking about paying attention to your emotions, I want you to think about when you are uncomfortable, like in situation or in certain moments. This can help you define that, okay, I noticed that at this moment I was uncomfortable when we had this type of conversation or when we have this type of situation, and I was uncomfortable because, and then this will help you to know a bit more about yourself. What is your insecurity in this case? What made you uncomfortable in this case, and why? And the tip number 3, the best one, is to do online tests. There is so many. There is so many, I don't know which one, but there is so many tests online that you can do that will help you define your personality if you just don't know how. You know, you can just answer those questions, and then they will say to you, okay, you have this type of personality or this one. So I will put a list of tests that I found online. I will also put my result. So share your result in the comments or share your result in a Notion. Can we do that? I will have a look. And also, This is not a tip, but this is more a conversation. Part of your identity is also your roots, where do you come from? What is your family? What is your background? Your religion also can be a part of your identity. All this can create your identity, but also have a big influence into your values. So this leads me to our third part and our last part, that is the values and the belief. Your values are key elements that conditions your behaviors and that are a factor of motivation or demotivation, but unconsciously. So you can refer to our first video of the spring reset related to the conscious and unconscious. So here with the value and the belief, we are answering the question why. Why do you do certain things or others? It goes really into an unconscious aspect. And why we do why do I talk this way? So why do you do this? Why you do that? And your values, but especially your belief, it's like the key point to proceed to a big change. And both of them has a repercussion to your choice in terms of friends, in terms of romantic relationships, in terms of products that you buy, your interest, or the way you spend your free time, etc. So I will give you 2 tips about your values, and I will give you 1 tip about your belief. And of course, you can find everything into my Notion page. I really hope you will like it. Let me know what you think, because we are here to change, to grow, to evolve. And I want to provide any tools that I can, any tips that I can, and I just want to help you, okay? And to help myself. So if this way works for you, if the Notion page can work for you, just please feel free to let me know. So my tip number 1 related to the value is to identify your happiest moment, really your happiest moment in life. Think about your proudest moment, where you are really like, yeah, I did this. Think about those feelings moments, the one that really bring you this completion feeling, this one that you think fulfill. I'm asking you to think about those moments because I want you to ask yourself why this moment was the happiest, the fullest, or the proudest. Why? What was important for you in those moments? Why? What did you feel? Push it. And don't ask yourself only once, Push the question. Why? You can start seeing some keywords, some key sensations. These ones are your values. These ones are the things that you really deeply value. And I want you to order them by importance. By doing so, you will know also what is more important for you. What do you value most compared to another one? The one that you put as the most important are usually your goal values, whereas the one that are lower are your processed value. Your goal value, it's harder to quantify, if I can say that this way. And so if I give an example of the freedom, it's harder to quantify than money. And in this case, I can have money without being free, but I cannot really be free without money. And in consequence, the freedom is a goal value, and this one depends on the money, that is a processed value. And in my scale, to be able to reach this value goal, the one that is the freedom, I need to work, to have the money, to have my personal development, to have the freedom. Those values, you can also put them by category, because maybe a value that is here for the work is not the same that the values that you will put for your family and the value that you will put for your friends, etc. And now for the belief, I saw on internet that we have 3 types of beliefs, and I agree when I saw it. This is why I'm sharing it today. So we have the experiential belief, the intuitive belief, and the influenced belief. To be able to know which type of belief this is, we usually say to ourselves for the experiential, I know. For the influenced one, we say, I think. And for the intuitive one, we say, I feel. And my tip for the belief, and to understand which belief do you have, which one are influencing you, is to pay attention to your inner voice. This will help you to understand your perceptions. So in a certain situation, to understand if you have a belief that will help you grow or in contrary will put you down, you have to hear how do you talk to yourself when there is a specific situation, and start being aware when you realize that, oh wait, this is a belief, this is not the truth, this is not the reality. To identify your belief also, another tips that I just thought about was to reflect a bit into your past and what your parents or your environment taught you and that are right now a belief for you. So of course, if you have any question, just please feel free to put them in the comment. If you like the video, share, like, comment, and subscribe. Sorry, subscribe to the channel. There will be soon the second part of the video where we will talk about the rest. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Have a nice day, nice weekend, and for the ones that are watching really right now, happy Easter.